there? Okay, let's just watch this pity video of this sneaker store owner complaining that the sneaker market is dead.
Does anyone want to explain why shoes are literally just dying right now? I own a sneaker store and we've been struggling for the last couple months. And I know what you're going to say. Oh, it's a Yeezy. You're overpricing it. It's $110. Retails like two something. Market's like $190. I'm pricing it at $110. It used to be going for $500 to $600. Market's like $400. We haven't priced at $320. A shoe that's sold out, hard to get. A SB Navy 4. It's used, but $210. That's like retail. For example, like a yellow ochre, which is not even a bad shoe, is going for like $90.
You just showed me three of the most played out, repetition-filled, oversaturated, boring, lackluster silhouettes that have been spammed with various colorways for 5.
All right, Shalom Israel. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Bahakwadash. Also want to give double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth, and peace and love to the Lord's hopeful elect. I'm back at it with, through the Spirit, maybe a more light-hearted lesson. But I don't know what I'm going to title it, but it was 2 points based off of what you just heard and saw there concerning what sounded like an Edomite and what looked like an Edomite. They're complaining about quote-unquote sneaker culture not being what it was in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, man. Well, it's two things going on. One, the reason why people are not buying $300 and up sneakers or $100 and up sneakers simply because they can't afford it. Number two, it's because everybody has ruined so-called sneaker culture that isn't an Israelite. And like I say, man, through the Spirit, man, maybe it make a light-hearted lesson, but there is, something to be learned from, what's happened upon the earth. Yes, there is a lot of chaos and bad things, but we use everything for edification through the Spirit. So again, two things are happening. People can't afford the shoes, but as you can see just through this video, who's on most of these videos? They're for face value, not Israelite, not so-called black and brown people. They're every other nationality. All right. And the reason why I bring this whole thing up, because so-called sneaker culture as it relates to the U.S., all right, you know where it comes from, bro. We're not saying we invented the sneaker. Probably did, because I don't really know the history of the invention. I know about the history of the Nike. I know he wasn't no Jake. But we made it cool, all right? Especially if we're talking Michael Jordan. If you want to just start when Jordan started the whole sneaker thing, then we can start there, man. From the time Jordan came out with that first shoe, that he is an Israelite for face value. That we believe Michael Jordan, an Israelite man, all right? And people have been following suit ever since. We have set the trends, and I'll bring these scriptures out. All right. But you pretty much get the point, man. But you see, even, I was into that at one point in time, man. Dang, Salakia. When I was younger, of course, but as I got older, of course, my daughter's kind of into it a little bit, but I noticed the difference as I would get older. First and foremost, how expensive things were getting. A pair of Air Force Ones, like when I was in high school, $79.99, my first pair. All right, and through the process of time, it got up to $100. Then it got up, higher than that. But so that's one thing I noticed, but I also noticed this whole culture of reselling shoes, man. And of course, Jake is mixed up in that, but the bulk of what I seen was Edomites, man, for face value. Edomites and, of course, other nations mixed in there, but for the most part, it's these Edomites, especially young Edomite boys, man. They got the money to buy all these shoes, man, and they have single-handedly, I don't care what nobody say, ruined the culture. Not that I'm a part of it no more anyway. I could care less, man, especially in relation to this kingdom. But, man, we have clearly shown this earth, man, that despite us being in our captivity, we still have some salt about us, and that the rest of the nations will follow us no matter what. If we start back rocking suits, man, like it's the 50s, hot itchy suits, guarantee that they will do the same. Look at these concerts, man, of rappers, so-called, who is predominantly in these places. Just look, it's a whole bunch of not us. All right, for I mean, for especially the big time rappers, man. All right. So again, it shows you that Jacob is the salt of the earth, and I'm finna get that precept. And that they're following us, man. But it's also a sign of a declining kingdom, because again, they can't afford it. When the economy was okay and Esau Edom hasn't shown its full wickedness yet, hey, people could kind of balance things out, and they could afford Jordans for themselves and their kids. Now it's to the point where everyone just blatantly saying, the hell with these so-called holidays. We're not getting nothing. We're not doing it no more, and they're fronting. You know what I mean? Oh, it's played out. Please. All right, you can't afford it. That's why. Plus, it's played out. Whatever we say is what goes, man. Whatever Jake want to wear, man, you guys are gonna follow suit. If we start wearing church clothes, so called, they'll follow us just like they follow and rocking all this shit that they just now catching up with. Well, this is Matthew 5 and verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth, meaning, that flavor, all right? But if the salt have lost his savor, and we have in relation to our wickedness, man, are we supposed to have that salt in relation to righteousness, gloat and brag in our perfection, all right? By keeping the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments, being clean, not committing adultery, fornication, all these things, man. And we would have really been a spectacle to these people. But now we're a spectacle in wickedness, man. Wherewith shall it be salted, it is then for good for nothing. So that's a Lord willing in relation to the 2/3, and hopefully we're not. All right, they're good for nothing at this point, but to be cast out and to be trodden down under the foot of men. All right, but the whole point being, Jacob being the salt of the earth. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For thou art an holy people, means set apart, that word holy, unto the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah, thy God, the Lord, thy God, have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. So the Lord Yahweh has chosen this settled group of people, this particular group of people, the Hebrew Israelites, all right, for himself, all right, above, that's not equal to, above all people. So that's above, not equal to all the other nations that aren't Hebrew Israelites that are upon the face of the earth. All right. So again, we saw the salt, and we see that we're supposed to be special, all right, holy, set apart. All right. Again, starting with keeping the law, but also how we so-called rock. All right, our traditions, our customs, all right, the oils that nobody else need. If we was in our kingdom, we probably won't need oil for our hair, but our hair be dry, man. But the oils and things that we use on our skin, the cocoa butter, all that shit, that's peculiar. A video came out with an Edomite looking woman. She was like blown away about cocoa butter and what it does to your skin, because they're so used to, not having melanin. All right. But you see, again, going back to that salt and how these people are following us. They talk shit about us all day, but every damn, day, week in, week out, the majority of them, no matter how much they hate it, they got to really, really, truly hate us to not watch that football and that basketball. I tell you what, because ain't nothing but Jake out there on that field in that court, man, and they love it, man. Edomites love watching Jake do that basketball. They love sports and folly, period, man. But Jacob one that's really good at it, man. And they love it. So they can say they hate us all they want, man, but they're obsessed with everything we do, obsessed with our men, all right? They're obsessed with our women, and when they're acting decent, especially when they're acting decent, they can't do nothing with an Israelite woman when she, decent and look good. The way that we talk, this so-called internet, like all that, man, please, they ain't nothing but Jake that the world now can see and mimic. All so-called Gen Z, man, all it's just Jake talking like that, man. Everybody talking. You don't even hear like so-called Edomite slang no more, man. So-called white folk slang. All right, nah, they talking just like the so-called black kids, man, and they know it, and everybody sees it because we have the internet now. We have these devices and we see it. Everybody's following us no matter what we do. We wicked, they follow us. We righteous. I'm not too much sure about that though. This is Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Or did I bring this out already? Yeah, I did. All right. Second Esdras. Yeah, and they're complaining. Oh, there's a video that I wanted to. Oh, that was with the dude, the white dude. You're complaining about 200. Come on, man. Us paying, and that's the problem with Jacob, and that's why the Lord taught us these things. Hey, keeping these law, statutes, commandments, and remember what the Lord taught us. The love of money is the root of all evil. It was never a part of our culture to love spending money on shit, especially if we're talking specifically shoes. We like the shoes, we like the variety. That's what we do. It's a part of our salt. Just we peculiar like that compared to y'all. But it was never cool to pay $300 for it. That was like the max that I was like willing to pay at my peak when Jordan was coming out with these like packages. It was two Jordans, right? Two, you know what I mean? Two pairs of Jordans, you know what I mean? And they be like around 300, something like that. There's reasons why, but it wasn't just let's just spend a whole bunch of money. You see, and Jake is just legit. He's like, when it comes to this shit, I'm seeing 50 Cent. So all these rappers go to this sneaker store, and everybody's like, oh man, how much is this shoe? How much? There's like thousands of dollars here, thousands of dollars there. 50 Cent and damn near every other brother, Wicked, albeit Wicked. They told these fools and these, Edomites, man, look, man, this is too much damn money. However they said it, man, it's too much damn money. That's not cool. Even Esau think that shit cool to spend 400, 500, because this is his kingdom, of course, He then took our culture, then, then hijacked it, and then drove the price up, just like, literal society. You know what I mean? Just driving the price up on things, man. It's because, you have nothing to do with this, man. You fall back. Now you done ruined it. Now the kids are rocking Asics on your goofy ass. Yeah, they switched it up on you. That's how Jake do it. Who you think started that? The Edomites? No. Once the Jakes got back to it, boom, boom, boom. Now they rocking Asics, old school grandpa shoes, brother. Stop the madness. And pretty soon, everybody will be dressing like that. That's a part of that fucking world. But you see how they just follow us? Then Jake just switched it up on him. My daughter, when she don't even know who MJ is. When she was younger, she was messing with it. But when she got older, nah, it was Vans, it was Adidas, it was different shit. I'm like, oh, okay. Is we done with the MJs? Could be. All right, but hey, man, the whole point being, hey, Jake got that salt, man, and these people are following us. But also the point being, society is on the decline. People can't afford it like we used to. I spent a lot of money on some shit that I definitely look back and oh no, wouldn't do it just wisdom wise, and wouldn't do it because I can't afford it. Shoot. All right, let's see. 2, 3. I was going to second Esdras. Second Esdras 6:22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And you see that with these punk ass shoe stores and things like that, and then it'll trickle to the gyms and things like that, and it's found empty because people can't afford those things. Just like we saw so-called Black Friday shopping, it was pretty much empty compared to the historic numbers that they usually put up during that pagan shit. All right, nobody's in there. They're doing videos as we speak. Last week prior, about just after so-called Black Friday and how the stores are just remaining empty, man. But hey, the scripture is going into, hey man, there's going to be a plethora of reasons why suddenly the storehouses shall be found empty with nothing in that guy. All right, you know what I mean? Pretty soon, it's not gonna be nothing to buy in those stores, man. And again, there's a whole list of reasons, man. Chaos. All right, Esau Edom just doing his thing, manipulating stuff. The trucking industry, all these things, man. All right, but eventually, you're not gonna be able to just go to a place and buy, the things that you need, man. All right. And the trumpet shall give a sound which every man heareth, that shall be suddenly afraid, man. They gonna know what time it is, that this is Jacob's trouble, because everybody's going crazy. At that time shall friends fight against one another like enemies, man. All right. And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Hey, so, and we gotta remember, man, the Lord said he came to send a sword, man, not peace, but a sword. That sword being symbolic, man, for war and division. All right. So all these things, man, is prophetic, getting ready to happen upon the earth. And again, it's not just shoes. I just use it again, maybe a lighthearted type of lesson, but it ain't just the shoes that people can't afford. Obviously, there's real daily necessities that people are in jeopardy of not being able to attain daily. Especially if you're not serving Yahweh Hashem Shah, all right, and they're starting to feel that crunch. So they're starting to get angry. They're starting to get quote unquote short, which is short tempered. And people are already like that. And one thing we're seeing through the spirit and power Yahweh Shah, these people are effing quote unquote crazy. You know what I mean? If they're not, coming in the spirit of the Lord, they're effing crazy. However, you want to break their craziness down, man. They can't be trusted. You know what I mean? They're liable to spaz out on your trade. I mean, they're liable to break the law, statutes, commandments. They're liable to unalive you. They're liable to commit adultery. You know what I mean? They're liable to do weirdo stuff in relation to serving the Lord, man. First and foremost. All right, which is going to just lead to them being a bugged out individual and basically in opposition, all right, or an opposing force, that's what we said in the military, to you. Second Esdras, let's see, 3. Let's go to the book of Isaiah 32 and 9. Rise up, ye women that are at ease. All right. So, I mean, not just you women, anybody that's at ease, man, and don't know what time it is, all right, how serious, severe the times are now, and that we're getting ready to come into. Hear my voice. What voice? The voice of Yahweh Shema Shah through the prophets. All right. Ye careless daughters, and especially our women, they're careless, man. The daughters of Zion, man. All right, give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall you be troubled. All right, this is prophetic. This is getting ready to happen. It's happening now. All right, ye careless women, for the vengeance shall fail. The gathering shall not come. All right, the gathering of this mirth, this folly. And we do know here in Babylon the Great, especially, folly is set in great dignity. All right, they love it. That's why they pay the entertainers what they pay them, and all that time and effort and all those resources go into just a bunch of playing around, man. All right. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. All right. They shall lament for the teats. All those treats, they're gonna be crying, for yesterday. All right. It was all good just yesterday, man, or a week ago. They're going to lament for those things, man, when you could just simply, you should have just been calling upon the Lord. But, you're going to miss a day when you could have just chilled on Sunday and watch a little football and have your little hot wings, man. Yeah, it was nice and simple then, man. But we try to tell you, hey, this is a part of the story, man. All right, we got to get back home. And we're not finna wait on you guys. You know what I mean? Isaiah, where we at? Isaiah 32 and 9. Yeah, upon your loins, for the fruitful vine. Yeah, that's pretty much the point. Yeah, so not just the women, but the men too, the children too, the other nations as well, man. Hey, rise up, man. Stand up. Come out of your BS. Prepare. However you prepare. The children of Israel gonna prepare by hiding themselves in the name of Yahweh Shah. Everybody else that can see the end coming, hey, they gonna hide themselves by what? Prepping, things like that. Now again, that's not necessarily the spirit that we are spiritual preppers, all right, but I'm just saying there's people that can see the change coming and they're doing something about it. But again, the Lord's elect are going to prepare their way, and we'll see, who makes it all the way through this. Now, won't we? All right. We're saying it's only a certain people that can do it. It's not for everybody. Other people are saying, yeah, we can do it too. So all we're saying is, okay, we don't want to argue with you really. All right, we don't want to fight with you really. We really just want to go home, to be honest. If we could pick just going home and just taking our punishment without having to do the revenge part, guess what? I'm sure every brother would just let's just go home. But it's not what prophecy said. There's a whole lot of bad stuff, a whole lot of war, a whole lot of conflict, preceding the Lord's second coming. And then some stuff going down, during that second coming that a lot of people not really going to like. If you know, you should study to show yourself approved. That's what we learned. All right. But, Wow. We'll leave it off in Isaiah 65 and 13. The Wow. Well, let's start at wow. Mm. Let's start at 12. Isaiah 65 and 12. Therefore will I number you to the sword, the unrepentant of the nation of Israel, as well as the rest of these wicked people, man. All right. And ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because why? Because when I called the house, the Lord calling again via the prophets, man. He's doing it, but via the prophets, man. All right. Via the teachers, via the warners, the seers, the watchmen. Ye did not answer. All right. When I spake through those men, all right, and the believers of those men, ye did not hear, but did evil before mine eyes, and did choose that wherein I delighted not. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God. Who's our Lord? The Lord God, Yahweh, and his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Behold, all right, so because of this BS, behold, check this out. My servant shall eat. Who are the Lord's servants? That's that remnant of the nation of Israel. We don't care. All right. That remnant doesn't care what everybody think. We're saying one way, prove, your own cause, man, without effing with us, man. All right. We're not going up, to different camps and debating and stuff. People coming up to us. You know what I mean? We are a small church. You do not have to pass by that camp per se, or you definitely don't have to stop and entertain, or we just out there. It's not bothering nobody, but somehow, some way, watch this persecution come, man, and watch how grimy they get, man. You know what I mean? But we'll be prepared for that through the Spirit of power, Yahweh Shema Shah. And during that time, while a famine is taking place upon the land, all right, famine of the word, all right, also, and that's what's happening now through the Spirit. There's a famine of the word really going out because the Lord blinded, and close up some ears, man. And that hopeful elect is eating daily, and it's free. It is. It's free. It's brothers 24/7 feeding the sheep, man, through the Spirit. So, they're eating, but in the physical sense, man, during the Great Tribulation, when all the chaos happens, man, without having to take that mark of the beast or compromise the situation, my sisters out there, they're not going to have to be given over to prostitution. That's not the answer. And the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah is not going to give one of his daughters over to that bullshit. That's an excuse that a weak ass vessel uses, man. All right, to justify their sin. Oh, I had to steal. I had to prostitute myself. Girl, stop. You don't have no faith. That's why you did it. You wasn't going to endure unto death. Like you wasn't, your stomach got a little bit hungry. So maybe it was a little bit hungry. Hey, try y'all by Shema Shah. I can't speak up for you if you calling upon an idol and praying to an idol at this point, my sister. But did you try Yahweh by Shema Shah with that sincere spirit? All right. Because it's getting late in the day. All right. But again, therefore, thus saith the Lord God, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. All right. Just like they're hungry now, they just don't know it. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. So that's beautiful, man. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. And right now, it's the exact opposite. They the ones partying, enjoying, traveling, all type of stuff, man. Shit, I don't want to get into it. But, traveling, doing all type of stuff. And the servants of Yahweh Shema Shah are in the house of mourning. That's crazy, man. When we have some joy, make no mistake about it, and some hope. But like the physical manifestation of us on a daily basis, man, we're in a low state, man. We're in a low state. 2/3 of the nation of Israel, they happy. You know what I mean, they partying, they enjoying their music, they drinking, giving in marriage just like the days of Noah, and it's getting ready to go down, man. All right, so we just gotta continue to serve y'all by Shema Shah. And Lord willing, man, we're that hopeful elect, and the Lord is gonna restore us, man, fully. All right. But yeah, so with that, I want to give all praises, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shah. Till next time, Shalom.